Hello everyone, this is Peter Stone continuing on the little book, Start to Live. There are so many amazing, life philosophies that are really realities that when we live into them, our life becomes superior to being led by whatever you get led by. And for some, for the few, you're lucky, you're fortunate that you live in a good space and you have, well, I wouldn't call it a comfortable life, but a life of joy and pleasure, and dealing with things when they come to you, they come as another opportunity or simply another challenge to test yourself. So in this chapter 8, it's not really a chapter, it's a page number 8 in this book, but I've decided to just call them episodes because these are really stories in our life when we live into them fully, or they become really chapters or segments in our life, the way we show up, the way we think, the way we are, the way we react or don't react or absorb. I don't like to make everything like a reaction or a proactive. It's kind of when we are given a situation, how is it that we receive it? What do we do with it? So in this case, this is like really important in this time, this particular maybe year or last year or this decade, who knows, maybe many decades for any of you. So where we start with this is you and I live into our lives in a reality of illusions because we're told pretty much how we live. So you live your life in a reality of illusions, as the book says. You and you alone create and manifest your fears. Nobody else does your fears for you or your faith, right? You create the faith you have in the day, in your life, in your week. So if it's a fear, is it real or did you create it? And I mean, it's in our head. No place else. No place else. It looks like it's like all-encompassing and overwhelming sometimes, but that's not the case. We have to back off of that and say, I don't accept that thought, reject the thought, at least push it away a little bit. So you have a little space to make a decision to work on that thought and either choose it as a fearful thought or not. It's a choice. So the second part, you and you alone create and manifest your fears, which we do. We all do. And our joys, for that matter. There is no death and there is no sickness. It's what we create in our mind. And this is so very important because people will say October is a month of a ribbon, and they wanted me to market an illness. I'm like, are you kidding me? Put this up on your Facebook page, Peter. Put this up on your jewelry website, Peter. And I'm like, serious? You want me to market an illness? That's sick, beyond sick. So there are words that I will not allow in my head. I just, out of sight, out of mind. And if it's not in your mind and you don't think of it, so it doesn't exist. Just like a fear. So today, I can attest to many things that I was fearful about. And I think back and I go, wow, it's not really ridiculous. It is what it was. and it is what it is today. And so I can just say, working and doing things like that are written in this book and paying close attention to smart people or wise people. So is smart a person full of wisdom? I think so. I think so. You can be educated and read all the books you want, but that doesn't really make you smart as far as like life goes, and living life fully, richly, and completely. So we must fulfill ourselves and put the fears aside, choose not to plug into them, and choose not to fear anything as death or sickness. Just, it's an illusion, right? We're here, we do, we come, we go, but people like to define things and then form an image in our head and build all of this stuff. Don't accept it unless you want it. And I don't know why anyone would want fear. Some people love drama. I'm not one of them. And if you do, it's the wrong place. So they're saying there is no death, there is no sickness, save that which is created by man's logical, conscious thought. Which means, what I just said, is what we give it power. Save, but the word is a bit old. It's but that which is created by man's or woman's logical, conscious thought, right? So we add logic and we create this situation that seems to make sense. Some people call it science, and some people, whatever it's measured. But in science, when they say there used to be a molecule, and that's the smallest thing ever, and then there's an atom, and then there's an electron, and it gets smaller, and there's all kinds of stuff that we don't know. So when someone says this is it and that's final, no, because life is a never-ending discovery. And the laws and the rules are always expanding. And if we're not expanding, we're contracting. And that's a whole nother subject. So let me just start from the top. I didn't bring the book. I wrote it because I'm outside today in the little park in my village here. And I'm going to go take a swim over there after a while, after I finish this. I just had a bike ride. So let me just start here. Start to Live is the name of the little book by Clearwater. You can find it online. You live your life in a reality of illusions. You and you alone create and manifest your fears. There is no death. There is no sickness, save that which is created by man's logical, conscious thought. So have a little bit of a quiet time and let thoughts come and go. Do a little meditation. You can call it what you want when you meditate. Meditation does not have to be by prescription, right? This is how you meditate. Well, you meditate, you sit in silence, and some thoughts come and go. You grab some. Maybe you want to even make notes because they're really good messages. And sometimes the meditation just takes you off into nothingness, into a connection with everything, with all that is, all that was, and all that ever will be. I mean, that is a place of learning. It's silent learning, silent knowledge exchange. It's amazing in that space. And some have been there, and some may have not. And if you haven't, then if you haven't, then you're in for a treat. And if you have, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like the best of life. So that is episode 8 for today. A little bit late at the end of the day if you're in Miami or on the east coast of the USA. You usually do it in the morning, but hey, it's the weekend. Enjoy your weekend and live into your life. Don't buy into any fears. Walk above the noise. Manage your mind, manage your thoughts, manage your words, manage your fears, manage your joy, and build your joy. Spiral your joy outwards. This is Peter Stone saying thanks. I'll be back tomorrow.